Well, my friends, we made it. We made it to one of WWE's biggest weekends of the year, and believe it or not, as always, I'm fired up. Welcome, everybody, to episode 64 of Under the Middle Rope. I'm your host, Jose Taboada, and yes, my friends, for the 35th time, it is Royal Rumble weekend. The road to WrestleMania is upon us, and of course, everybody knows how much I love the Royal Rumble. Everybody knows how much I love WrestleMania. And here we are now, once again, ready to start another fun, long, dwindling road to Arlington, Texas, this time at AT&T Stadium in April. But again, of course, like I said, it all starts at the Royal Rumble. And of course, when I started this podcast a few years ago, it was this event that I was always looking forward to do. And of course, last year we had a blast recording, and now here we are again this weekend to do it one more time. And you know, despite the big weekend, despite that how big and fun the Royal Rumble is, this is going to be a unique episode in the sense that I'm all alone. I was unable to get the rest of the crew, but that's okay. They all submitted their predictions in, and it's mainly my fault because my schedule just got hectic, and so I couldn't bring everybody together. So again, it's going to be me. I will be sharing their predictions, and of course, that's Nick, Pete, Wolf, and RJ. I'm going to be sharing their predictions as we roll along here, and then of course, I'm going to be giving my input, and so on and so forth. So at the time of this recording, there are only 6 matches, I believe, 4 regular matches, and of course the 2 Royal Rumbles, the men's and the women's. Like I said, the Under the Middle Rope Championship once again is back on the line for one of the final times here. Of course, because like you said, if you missed last week's announcement, was that after WrestleMania, the fallout, that this will be the conclusion of the podcast. So it is going to be bittersweet. To do this episode, to do the predictions and the fallout. But you know what? Maybe I just do this once a year. Who knows? I'm gonna have fun today. Just going out loud again. So much to look forward to in the Royal Rumble. But again, we're going to go through match by match. And so we're going to start off with, I think, the more quieter out of the 4 matches before the Royal Rumbles, of course. And I'm talking about the mixed tag team match. Edge and Beth Phoenix taking on The Miz and Maryse. And of course, this all started when Edge and The Miz started off with a little bit of a rivalry, started a storyline. They went to day 1. Maryse gets in the fray, tried to distract Edge. Here comes Beth Phoenix, and then all of a sudden that feud begins. And I believe the Raw after day 1 was when the Edge proposed the mixed tag team match, and The Miz immediately said, "Hey, I'm in. I'm ready to go." Much to the dismay of Maryse, who obviously doesn't want to be in the match. But here we are now for the Royal Rumble weekend as they set to compete. And I think there was a stat that this Beth and Maryse are making history, where they are the first women to face each other, I think, in 3 different decades, which I believe would be the 2000s, the late 2000s, the mid 2010s, and of course now the 2020s, if I'm not mistaken here. But anyways, like I said, we are going to go to we're gonna go to show you what everybody predicted. Oh, that's not what I want to do. That's what I want to do. So everybody except for Wolf picked Edge and Beth Phoenix. The Wolf went with Miz and Maryse. I spelled Miz wrong there, but that's okay because I'm trying to do this all in one take, and I cannot afford any more corrections. So we're just gonna roll with it, like we did last week. So spelling errors do happen, folks. And proofreading is very important. And of course, again, if you don't know what I'm talking about, if you're listening to this on Spotify, go to YouTube. You'll see that I said the mix instead of the Miz. But nonetheless, I can't go against Edge. Everybody knows how much I love Edge, the Toronto homeboy. I was very excited when he won the Rumble last year. So obviously, I got to go with Edge. And Beth Phoenix is just as great. 2 Hall of Famers, literally a Hall of Fame, literally a WWE Hall of Fame couple. So we got our first difference right off the bat, which is exciting, which is very exciting. And of course, yes, we do have a tiebreaker, and of course we'll get to that later on. So that is match number 1. Not much to that, and of course, this is where we transition to the next. I guess the third most important match. I guess this is my opinion because I'm just listing off the matches one by one. It is the Raw Women's Championship. Becky Lynch, the current Raw champion, taking on a new contender who's getting into the title mix, Dewdrop, who of course earned a title opportunity on a Raw after a triple threat against Bianca, and the name slips me, but nonetheless, Dewdrop gets in on this, and of course, I mean, this is one where you got to look at it and you wonder, who is there really going to be a difference? And well, unfortunately, no, there was not a difference there. Everybody went with Becky Lynch. So everybody's clear there, staying unanimous. For me personally, I mean, dewdrop is just filler, obviously, because of course you want Becky to enter WrestleMania in a few months' time as the Raw Women's Champion and see if there can be like a competitor that's like really of noteworthy. Not that dewdrop can't get there. I just don't think that dewdrop is there yet. And again, it's just good filler, and you need filler because obviously you need like the minimal of matches possible, because this always happens every Royal Rumble. You need the minimum amount of matches possible to so you can accommodate the times of now 2 Royal Rumbles a year. And so I think the Raw Women's Championship is a good like pre-entry, pre-build. I don't know how you want to call this to the Royal Rumble matches, but and I think Dewdrop is good filler. I think she has a talent for sure. Of course, formerly known as Piper Niven, if you don't know. But like I said, I think that's just a good start. So should be a fun little match here. But again, everybody going unanimous with Becky Lynch, as again we transition over to what, in my opinion, what I think is the second most important match on the card. And again, with the rumors that are running rampant, with how crazy things have been in recent weeks, especially after what happened on day one, WWE day one, the pay-per-view, of course, I guess anything can happen. And of course, I'm talking about the WWE Championship match. Brock Lesnar, the current champion, the current energetic, suddenly charismatic champion, taking on Bobby Lashley, which of course was apparently the dream match that we've been waiting to see for a very, very, very long time. Again, apparently, this all started again when it was supposed to be Brock versus Roman Reigns at day one for the Universal Championship on the SmackDown side. But then Roman ended up with COVID-19, who of course healed up, thankfully. And then Brock Lesnar was thrown into the fatal 4-way match for the WWE Championship. Kevin Owens, Seth Rollins, Big E, and again, the fifth name eludes me, but that is okay. Brock Lesnar thrown into the mix. And of course, what do? You give Brock Lesnar the win anyways. Now, of course, he's once again WWE champion. I think this is his 6th reign. And then Bobby Lashley earning the opportunity on Raw, winning, I believe it was winning a qualifier. And then boom, that's what ended up happening. Bobby Lashley gets into the mix. Now, obviously, the question is what's going to happen, because you hear rumors that people want Brock and Roman again at WrestleMania. That would be their third encounter, I believe. Yes, that would be their third encounter at WrestleMania. It almost feels like the Rock and Austin trilogy, except it's one that maybe nobody wants. So, of course, the question wonders, does one of them lose their opportunity or the loser championship at the Royal Rumble? And from there, if a champion does lose, do they go into the Royal Rumble match? And again, a lot of people are not hoping for it, but at least with the predictions, and myself, all of us, the rest of the guys, all said the same thing. We all do think that Brock Lesnar will hold on to his WWE Championship. Bobby Lashley falls short. Again, I spelled Bobby wrong. Wow, this has been a great example of like how important proofreading is, kids. I said Bob Lee. I meant Bobby. But everybody picks Brock Lesnar. Makes sense again to me. I love him as champion. I think especially now that the charisma has returned to Brock Lesnar that I feel like we haven't seen since the mid-2000s. Like I said last week in the Rumble Roulette episode, I'm okay with Brock being champion, and hopefully, like the optimistic side of me, the hope is that Brock Lesnar retains, and then we get somebody other than Roman at the at WrestleMania, I should say, not the Royal Rumble. So I guess anything can happen there. But again, that's what I'm hoping for. I'm trying to be as optimistic as possible. And once again, we're all unanimous there. Me and the 4 other guys. So again, that being said, since I'm talking about WrestleMania rumors with Brock and Roman, obviously I got to transition to now the Universal Championship match. Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins going at it one-on-one. I don't know if you want to say it's like a Shield kind of like obviously we're going back to the Shield days and whatnot after the Rollins betrayal, but Adam Pearce handpicked Seth to be Roman's opponent for the Royal Rumble. The build-up hasn't been too bad. Obviously, I think it should be an intriguing matchup. nonetheless, I guess it's one I'm looking forward to. But again, I feel like I'm going to be holding my breath with this match as well, like I would with the WWE Championship match, as in what could happen if the rumors are running rampant that people want Brock and Roman, like I said, and again, I'm repeating myself, does that mean that somebody loses their championship? Well, at least for the predictions for me, before I reveal the others, I'm also hoping that this stays true and nothing crazy happens. And then I'm thinking that Roman Reigns also retains his Universal Championship, and then the hope is that Roman and Brock go their own ways. We avoid all this again and just carry on. Nick and Pete went with me, sided with me with the Roman Reigns. Wolf and RJ differentiated, went to separate ways and picked Seth Rollins, which again, very, very interesting, because again, that would maybe mean that I presume that, of course, I know Wolf and RJ, we're going to try to get everybody back together next week for the Fallout, and I feel like, and I want to quote them, I feel like Wolf and RJ would be saying that they think that Roman loses so they can give Roman his second Rumble win and then goes on to WrestleMania to take on Brock for the WWE Championship. Again, none of that I want. Absolutely none of that I want. I'm hoping that everything stays true. Everybody retains their championships. And then, like I said, Roman and Brock to go their own separate ways. So those are the 4 matches. But again, this is called the Royal Rumble. And again, the opportunity of a lifetime for now 2 superstars, a male and a female, to reach those championship dreams on the grand stage. Now, I did this last year. And what happened last year is, I had a different setup. I had my camera here staring at me straight, so going this way, and I had a ring light that covered it. But the ring light moved, and then it looked like I was in a James Bond film. So now I have a webcam that has 2 in 1, a light and a camera, which is great, and I can properly explain this. Supposedly and hypothetically, if you're watching this and you for some odd reason have no idea what is a Royal Rumble match or know what the rules are, oh my friends, do I have the explanation for you. We are going to do this. Here are the rules for a Royal Rumble match. 2 superstars who drew number 1 and number 2 will enter the ring and the match will begin. Then, every 90 seconds thereafter, another superstar enters in accordance with the number that they drew. It is every superstar for themselves. An elimination occurs when a superstar is thrown over the top rope and both feet must touch the floor. The last superstar in the ring, after all 30 participants have entered, will be declared the winner. Will not only be declared a winner, but will earn a championship opportunity at WrestleMania 38, which, of course, like I said at the start of the show, we know it is at AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas, a 2-night spectacle, April 2nd and April 3rd, if I'm not mistaken. So again, I love the rules. It's a running gag. It's a running meme with my friends that I just randomly say the rules. But those are the rules to a Royal Rumble. Again, I'm very excited for it. Everybody loves a Rumble. And again, it's just, you never know who's going to come up. Obviously, we're going to get surprises. Obviously, like for example, on the women's side, we have Impact knockout champion Mickie James and a whole bunch of other legends returning. So that should be very interesting, and wonder if Mickie does come out with the Impact knockout title and she comes out with their Impact music. Meanwhile, over on the men's side, we have Johnny freaking Knoxville of Jackass, and apparently the rest of his Jackass buddies involved in the Royal Rumble. Johnny Knoxville is an official entry, of course, and whoever ends up with Johnny Knoxville's number is obviously gonna have a field day. We're all gonna have a good laugh. And speaking of the Rumble entries, if you missed last week's episode, what we did is, because the Royal Rumble is hard, it is an unpredictable road at the end of the day. It really is. You can try to predict the winner, maybe you may not even get it. So what we did last year and what we did again this year is we drew numbers. We assigned each of the 5 of us 6 Royal Rumble numbers, and then whoever has the winning number will get the point in the prediction. So in saying that, here were the results of the women's Royal Rumble roulette last week. Nick ends up with 11, 13, 17, 20, 23, and 24. Myself, I ended up with 2, 6, 12, 15, 22, and 28. Pete was drawn 7, 16, 19, 25, 27, and 29. Wolf, who was complaining about his numbers all episode long, gets 1, 4, 5, 8, 10, and 26. And then RJ will close out the Women's Rumble picks with 3, 9, 14, and 18. So again, those are the numbers assigned. And then, of course, obviously, we got to look at the men's. We got to, once again, run by the men's picks one more time. Wolf, once again, complaining about his numbers with 1, 3, 10, 12, 15, and 16. Nick ended up with 4, 9, 22, 25, and 30. Pete ended up with 6, 11, 17, 18, 19, 20. Again, this was all spun. This was all via a wheel spin. I don't know how the heck you ended up with 4 straight picks. RJ ends up with 7, 13, 14, 23, 28, and 29. And then myself, I end up with 2, 5, 8, 24, 26. And of course, the lucky in the spot with the most wins, 27. Now, again, those are like the Rumble draws. So those will be counted as a pick. And then the guys and I talked. And then, of course, we still want to make some sort of prediction on who we think will win the Rumble anyway. So this is a new rule that is added on. We all made picks for the women's and we all made picks for the men's Rumbles. We each, the 5 of us each have our winners for the respective Rumbles. If we end up with the winning pick, we will get a bonus point on top of it, on top of our winning number. Or you just get an extra point anyways, nonetheless. So again, 2 points are on the line there. You could end up 2-1 and maybe potentially steal the predictions. Depends. But of course, again, anything can happen. Like I said, it's the theme of the show. It's the Royal Rumble. So the question is, who did we pick first off for the women's Royal Rumble match? And I got to tell you, when I was asking the guys who they picked, 3 of them surprised the hell out of me. And again, I'm going to presume it's because of rumors. I'll say this. RJ and I, we picked Bianca Belair. I am predicting that WWE wants to get the first women's back-to-back winner out of the way right away. And just keep creating history, because I know in recent Rumbles, and I was looking back at old Rumbles, and they're talking about how only 4 people, I think it was only 4 or 3 people that have won back-to-back Rumbles. Stone Cold, Shawn Michaels, oh my goodness, my mind slips. Maybe it's maybe a Hulk Hogan, and I think that's it. I think so. There's only 3 back-to-back. I could be missing somebody, but there's only 3 back-to-back winners. We haven't seen back-to-back, I believe, since Austin in 97 and 98. Again, if my mind serves me right, so there's only been 3 winners. So I think they're ready to add a 4th back-to-back winner. Again, the fact that it's a female, the first female to go back-to-back, and Bianca's such a great talent in WWE. I don't see why not. But again, that's RJ, myself, Nick, Pete, and Wolf stunned the living hell out of me when they all picked Ronda Rousey, because the rumors are running rampant again that Ronda Rousey is not, I don't want to say expected, but is rumored that will make her return at the Royal Rumble. Of course, RJ and I, Wolf as well, we were at the 2018 Rumble when Ronda Rousey came as a surprise after the women's Royal Rumble to close the show in Philadelphia. So, I mean, I'll tell you right now, as much as I would love to see Bianca go back to back, I would not be upset if it's Ronda and then we immediately get Becky Ronda. I would be so for it, 100% for it. You obviously, big names attract people, and that's what you want for big events like WrestleMania. So I would not be angry with this. I feel like people would, and I don't know if like some of these guys are not happy with those picks, and again, they'll discuss it next week. But again, that is what I'm going for. That would be interesting. So those are 2 very, very very interesting picks there for the Women's Royal Rumble. Unfortunately, though, for the men, there was not much difference whatsoever. And what I mean by not much difference is we all picked AJ Styles. We all picked AJ Styles to win the men's Royal Rumble match. You know, despite all the talk about rumors about Brock and Rowan if they lose the titles and enter the Royal Rumble match. Again, the 5 of us are hoping that it doesn't happen. They're hoping that it doesn't happen, and it means that we just get a brand new opportunity. And honestly, AJ has had a lot of success since, well, not a lot of success, but a lot of opportunity since he made his debut in the 2016 Royal Rumble match. 4 out of the 5 Royal Rumble pay-per-views that he's been a part of, all of them were WWE Championship matches, which of course includes the 2016 Royal Rumble when the WWE Championship was on the line for the first time at that point since the 1992 Royal Rumble that Ric Flair won to become WWE Champion. So I think it would be great, and I think it's a milestone that AJ Styles needs. He already has such a decorated career, and I feel like it's overdue, which is weird to say because, again, 5-6 years now in WWE, and it just like he's about to start his 6th year, or if not, he already has. If the anniversary of that Rumble is already come and gone, I just feel like it would be great to see. I just feel like it'd be really, really, really great to see AJ Styles with a Rumble victory. I think that'd be really cool. And again, my hope is that he would take on maybe Brock Lesnar. They have faced off each other in the past. And again, I believe that was a Survivor Series 1 year. So again, I would be 100% for it. So that's what I'm hoping for. But again, at WWE, they love to make decisions that piss off a lot of us, which gets us talking, which unfortunately means it works. So last but not least, let's take a look at that predictions board one more time. Been a little while, but there we go, folks. Again, I did not include our actual Rumble picks, like the people. Of course, again, Nick, Pete, and Wolf picking Ronda Rousey, RJ and I picking Bianca Belair, and the rest of us picking AJ Styles. So again, those points will be added on if it happens, and of course will be updated and reflected next week in the predictions episode. One more time, Wolf is the only one that picked Miz and Maurice. We all went with Becky. We all went with Brock. Wolf, the only one going with Seth Rollins. So either Wolf looks absolutely brilliant in the predictions, or he just set himself back so far, it is unbelievable. And of course, in the case of a tie, which, no offense, I really don't see Wolf being a part of, we have tiebreaker times as always, and we are tie-breaking the length of the women's Royal Rumble match. I went with 58 minutes and 12 seconds. Nick went with 56:30. Pete, 57:43. Wolf, 1 hour, 1 minute, and 56 seconds. And RJ went with 59:31. So there's one. Again, if you're on Spotify, we highly recommend you go over to YouTube to check out the full graphic of the Royal Rumble predictions. But that, my friends, is where we will close it. Again, it was supposed to be quick because, again, we don't have everybody's opinion, and obviously it would not have taken too long anyways to break down. So again, folks, we will be back next week. Hopefully we can get the guys together. Hopefully we can have a properly scheduled. But you know what? This is all pretty good. I got to say, for like about 24, 25 minutes, I'll take it. Again, I have fun. I have no problems doing solo episodes. I mean, I stream on Twitch and talk to myself basically like 2 to 3 times a week. So it all works out. And again, next week, we'll also show the score, see who takes the Under the Middle Rope Championship to WrestleMania 38. So, of course, folks, I think that is where I will wrap it up. And as always, all I can say is just that. Thank you so much for watching. Like us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter. Available wherever you get your podcasts. My name is Jose Tabuada. Enjoy the 2022 Royal Rumble. And we will see you all next week for the fallout. Have a great one. Bye.